Welcome back, welcome if you're new. Today we're going to be looking at some toxic roommates. Am I the a-hole for not allowing my roommate to have his toxic on-off partner at our place after he vandalized it? My roommate of 5 years has been on and off with the same partner for 4 or 5 years now. It's like clockwork. They're together for a while, things are okay, then conflict begins to build between them up until they get into verbal and sometimes physical fights. Then they separate for a bit until they make up and get back together. Rinse, repeat. I've watched this happen for more times than I can count. About a year ago, I wasn't home one night and came home the next morning to find a huge mess made in our dining area. My roommate had a bunch of houseplants which had been uprooted with dirt all over and in the carpet. There were also miscellaneous items thrown all over. It was my roommate's partner who had come in that night, since my roommate had given him an extra key, and trashed the place, probably in the wake of an issue they were having. Up until that point, I had not enforced any house rules on my roommate at all, but after that happened, I put my foot down and told him that his partner was no longer allowed inside our apartment. I told him that if he ever came over again, I would begin the process of finding a new living situation. He acknowledged and agreed to this. Fast forward to the present day, after the longest length of time they remained separated, my roommate has him over our apartment as I type this. He haphazardly snuck him in and straight to his room with the door locked. I knew he was in there because I could hear him talking, and I decided I would stick up for myself and the one clear boundary that I had set. I knocked on his door and told him through the door I knew he was in there, and it was obvious that he, my roommate, did not give a about the one boundary that I had set and is perfectly fine with disrespecting me. He responded telling me to get over myself, as well as some other disrespectful things. This guy claims to be my best friend, by the way. I'm a man of my word, and I've begun the process of finding a new living situation. My roommate and I were supposed to be moving out of state together in a few months, but I don't want to live with him if he's going to blatantly disrespect me like that. Too long didn't read. My roommate keeps having his toxic partner over our apartment. After I told him he's not allowed over anymore after he trashed our place, am I the a-hole? Honestly, no. It sounds like your roommate doesn't respect your boundaries and doesn't respect you. It's clear that your friendship has the condition of don't tell me not to do something or don't set any boundaries. It's perfectly fine if you need to move on. Sometimes friendships run their course, and this might just be the opportunity for this to be over. Take care of yourself, it's not worth it. In the next one, would I be the a-hole if I told my roommate that his girlfriend is toxic before they move into another apartment? My 21 female roommates, 22 male and 22 female, Jason and Caitlin respectively, and I have been living together for almost a year now, and we are 60 days out of the end of our lease. They have been dating for about a year and a half, and in the past year, I've been witness to many arguments and fights that Jason is somehow always the reason for. I've heard a million times from Caitlin that she's not trying to be toxic or manipulative, but as she goes on to justify why she's being toxic and manipulative. From my experience, Jason is a genuinely good guy who is willing to do anything and everything for Caitlin. And I feel like as the third roommate, I see more of their relationship than anyone else. The issue is that I'm truly scared for them to remain together and move into another apartment after they've already broken up at least 7 times since we moved in. I don't know if it's my place to talk to Jason and try to help him see the red flags that are obvious to everyone but him, apparently, but I would hate to see him spend another year stuck in a lease with someone who treats him the way he's treated. Also, I have no romantic feelings towards Jason whatsoever and have no intention of breaking them up for any personal reasons or anything crazy like that. I just don't want him to spend his entire 20s with someone who keeps him from his friends, prohibits him from going out drinking only because she doesn't like alcohol and won't trust him to go out alone, lives off double standards, tells him he doesn't love her and she could any guy at any point if she wanted to, dangling their relationship in front of him if he doesn't do what she wants, and pretty much any other toxic trait you can have. So would I be the a-hole for talking to him about this? It's always difficult when you're the observer of someone else's relationship. It sounds like they don't get along very well, either that or they just don't have very good conflict resolution or conflict management. I think Jason needs to make his own decision, but I also think that as a friend, you can be somebody that he would talk to. Also, it doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. You're looking out for your friend, and that's really what matters. If it gets taken in the wrong way, there's usually a reason for that, but that's not what we're asking here. I don't think you would be the a-hole, but I do think you should look out for your friend. Would I be the a-hole for asking my fiance to leave a D&D game run by our toxic roommate? I, 24 female, and my fiance, 24 male, are currently living with our roommate, 30 male. Our lease is up soon, and my fiance and I have made it clear that we want to get a place to ourselves. Our roommate is not happy about this and has been complaining to everyone who will listen about us. My fiance is in a D&D game roommate runs, and due to issues I will outline below, I am cutting our roommate out of our lives completely after we move. The only reason my fiance is hesitant to do the same is because he enjoys the game he plays. And while I hate to ask him to give up something that he currently enjoys, we both agree that our roommate isn't a healthy person to keep in our lives. Some of the things he's done are as follows. He tries to insert himself in our relationship to the point we haven't even told him we're engaged, because he would try to butt into our wedding planning. Gets mad when we go out on dates and don't invite him, generally acts like he thinks we're in a throuple, despite us never giving him any reason to think so, constantly acts incredibly petty. For example, if there's a single spoon or cup in the sink for the day before his day to do dishes, he will outright refuse to do any. Refuses to do any of the chores he agreed to do. Judges me for, I guess, not being the perfect little maid because I don't clean up after him constantly. Treats me like I'm my fiance's secretary for scheduling games. Doesn't clean up after himself when he jerks it in the bathroom. That is so gross. Gets drunk and yells a lot, both of which are major triggers for my PTSD. And while I have never asked him not to drink because doing so would be unreasonable, I have asked him not to raise his voice at me many times. Corners me when I'm alone to talk my friends to my face and blame me for his problems. He used to do it in a mod chat of our Discord, severe till one of the other mods stood up for me. Then he did it once with my fiance around and stopped that because he defended me. As for things not directed at us, but in general, he thinks it's entirely okay to misremember and dead name trans people just because he's mad at them or doesn't like them as a person, expects everyone around him to cater to him, etc. He can't even be bothered to do his own job and apartment hunting. He just complains like he expects me to do it for him. Same with washing his sheets and blankets. He hasn't done it in a year and I refuse to do it for him even though it reeks. So the question is, would I be the a-hole if I ask my fiance to leave that game when we move so we can go fully no contact? I'm not going to force him to leave if he doesn't want to. I have no right to do that, but for even just asking if he'd be open to it when it's something I know he enjoys, would that be wrong of me? Or should I just wait it out and say nothing till the game is over? Which I'm unsure how long it will run for. It seems like he plans for it to be a multi-year thing. Update. We're finally away from him. We both blocked him on everything but forgot about blocking his number, and he called my fiance to bitch at him and text me some guilt trippy garbage while claiming he wasn't trying to guilt trip. excellent expert level gaslighting. Things have been a lot better without him. Thank you all so much for your support. Okay, firstly, not the a-hole. This person sounds awful to live with. This person sounds like not a good influence on your lives. I 100% think, going no contact is definitely the best thing to do. Stick to your guns, block his number. You got this. That's going to be all for today, guys. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed. If you would like to see more of these, go ahead and leave a comment down below. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Bye.